friends, welcome to SKR classes where we will be starting the chapter life processes. So life about life processes we have started in the earlier video, and we have told you about what functions the body performs in just 1 minute. I'm sure you all must have taken a note of that, and also you must be surprised at how fast our body works and what humongous jobs the body does in 1 minute. So now we start our main topics which are given in the CBSE book according to them. And starting the life process chapter, I first want to ask you all a question. What is life? So it is a very nonsense type of a question starting of the chapter. What is life? For input, I know that I am living and you are living, but how do you define life? You will say that that person is living, he is doing all the metabolic activities, so he is living. But there must be a proper definition, because you know science does not work without definition. So my version of definition you can note down is a set of non-living components makes up a living organism. A set of non-living components makes up a living organism. Now you will all see that I have written non-living components. You will say, what a idiot that is, that he is saying that non-living components make up a living organism. How you would say a wardrobe and a TV can mix up to become a living component? But I am not talking about the non-living components that are present in your heart, but the non-living components that are present in your body. The non-living components that are present in your body are, example, protein, fat, carbs, etc. and all the minerals, everything that I can say protein, fat, carbs, and many more like these. They are the set of non-living things that provide the basic structure, and they provide the basic formation that is required in your body to live. So a life is set of non-living components that makes up a living organism. Now we'll move on and we'll erase this nonsense question that itself made you close this video, and that itself made that what a shit topic to start off with. So now we'll talk about energy. I think you all guys play and you all need energy to play. Where does the energy come from in your body? So the energy comes from the food that you all eat. The food that you eat gives you the energy to survive and do the basic life functions that you do every day in your life. So there also is an explanation that why do you first what is the requirement of energy. So we know that every living organism requires energy for survival. Every living organism requires energy for survival. Now you all know that everything needs an energy. If a lion does not eat for 10 days, you know he is going to be thin, he is going to lose out his energy, and he will eventually die if he does not get food. That's why every living organism, including the plants and the animals, everything that is living requires energy to survive. Everything is connected with energy in the body. Energy is required for the basic metabolic activities that take place in the body. Even blinking of your eyes requires this thing called energy. We will see later in the chapter that how this energy is produced in the body using ATP and the food that you eat combining with oxygen. So the food that you eat. Now food. Starting off the food, first I will give you some facts which I think you all will like. Everyone likes facts. I will write down some facts which I want you to copy in your notebook, and then you all also feel mesmerized about that. The first fact is the tongue is the strongest muscle in the body. No muscle in the body is stronger than the tongue. Maybe how much dumbbell work you do to maintain your biceps cannot be stronger than your tongue. Quite interesting, isn't it? You ask John Cena, which is your strongest muscle? He will show you his biceps, and you will show that I can defeat you with my tongue because my tongue is stronger than your biceps. So, starting off this mimic, we will go on to the second fact, that is the hardest substance in our body is the enamel of our teeth. Now you must be wondering, what is harder than the bone? So that thing is the enamel of our teeth. The enamel of our teeth, which is the over covering that protects your teeth from any kind of pressure work, that is the hardest substance present in your body. The third is in about 20 seconds, and using the short form, one red blood cell circulates the entire body from the head to the toe. One red blood cells from the head to the toe of your body. The red blood cell needs only 20 seconds. You say the red blood cells move with the speed of light? No, this is still less than the speed of light. So what you should imagine that the speed of light must be. The red blood cells starting from the tip of your head to the tip of your toe, it takes only 20 seconds to cover that distance. These were some basic facts of our body which many of the students would know, but I just said, I wrote in a bad handwriting, but still I just said so that some of the people who don't know must know this. Now we'll start the serious topic, which is modes of nutrition. Modes of nutrition. What are the different types by which organisms take in food? different types by which organisms take in food. Different types of ways by which organisms take in food will be a better topic. So the first one is autotrophic. Autotrophic. Let me write it clearly so that those who want to note it down may note it down. Autotrophic. So the autotrophic nutrition, this is only done by plants. I might bifurcate the word for you. Auto means self. Auto means self. And trophic, the meaning of trophic is nourishing. So autotrophic means self-nourishing oneself. You cannot self-nourish yourself because you can't grow potatoes and onions inside your body that you can self-nourish and feed yourself. So this nutrition, this type of nutrition is only performed by plants. This is done by plants because they only have a thing known as carbo. Not carbo. They only have the thing that they can use this thing. You all might be familiar with this. This is the thing, this is photosynthesis. This is the thing that plants use to make out their own food, to prepare food for one another, for them, for the other animals, for the herbivores, so that all can feed upon. Plants are self-dependent. They are self-dependent. Plants do not need anyone to fulfill their requirement of food. You must have been written the meaning of photosynthesis. The meaning of autotrophic means self. Auto means self and trophic means nourishing. So autotrophic, I may explain you in brief. This means the creatures, they synthesize their own food from simple inorganic substances using the process called photosynthesis. Autotrophic is done only by plants. So the next one is also a very common one. You all must be knowing, you are intelligent ones. This is heterotrophic. This nutrition is known as heterotrophic. Now let me again bifurcate the word for you. The meaning of the word heterotrophic is, hetero means other, trophic means nourishing, as you know. So heterotrophic means other nourishing. This means they are nourished by others. Others all involves the plants. So heterotrophic is a nutrition in which the ones following this nutrition are dependent on others, which are plants, to obtain their food. So a common explanation for this is that these are plants. Let me make a flow chart. Plants taken in by herbivores. You must be knowing the examples of herbivores, cow and buffalo and all that, deer, and they are eaten by carnivores. You know food chain, this is a mini type of food chain. So plants make food, herbivores eat that food. They are the primary heterotrophic organisms. This starts the heterotrophic thing. This is then eaten by carnivores. So carnivores are also indirectly dependent on the plants. to obtain their food. They also come under the category of heterotrophic. I think you must be understanding what is heterotrophic. I may give the common explanation and very easy one to understand, that they obtain their food from sources other than photosynthesis and they are dependent on others. They can't synthesize their own food from simple inorganic substances. Now going on to the third type. Which is saprophytic. Saprophytic nutrition. This mode of nutrition, is done by fungi. This is basically taking someone's other's help to make your own food. Explanation for this is mode of nutrition in which organisms break down food outside their body and then absorb it. This can be derived from dead plants and animal matter. So fungi, they take the help of dead and decaying plant matter so that they can form their food. They follow saprophytic nutrition. Common example of saprophytic is, as I told you, fungi. The fourth one being holozoic nutrition. This type of nutrition, these two can be taken out as subtypes. The main two types of nutrition are autotrophic and heterotrophic, as you have studied. The holozoic type of nutrition is the mode of nutrition in which organisms take in food and break it inside their body. The digestion occurs inside the body, in the stomach, in the small intestine, in the other things. The digestion occurs inside the body. And the fifth one is parasitic. This nutrition, as you say, this is a mode of nutrition where an organism, especially parasite, the organisms which do this kind of nutrition are known as parasites. Ticks, worms, tapeworms and hangworms that are present in your intestine. Hangworms, not hookworms. They do this type of the nutrition and they are known as parasites. So the mode of nutrition where an organism lives on the surface or inside the body of another organism and obtains nutrition directly from the host. The organism on whose body they live is known as the host. So mode of nutrition where an organism lives on the surface or inside the body of the organism and obtain nutrition directly from the host is known as parasitic nutrition. So these are the 5 modes of nutrition. I think you all must have understood. These 3 are the subtypes and these 2 are the most important and basic types of nutrition. Thank you, and follow us, subscribe our channel for next upcoming videos about the subject. Thank you.